friends and welcome to Obsidian Soft. Let's make a simple but accurate currency converter app today. First, we need to use a free API to get exchange rates. So I'm using this exchangerate-api.com. I will give this link in the video description. Click on this Get Free Key button and provide your email address. Choose some password. And now they have sent me an activation link to my email address. Just open up your email and click on this activation link. And this is my API key. Please do not use this one. Okay. And I have this API request quota available, 1500. Okay. So if you want to publish this app, you need to use a proper billing plan. Okay. But for school or college projects, this free API key is good enough. Okay. Let's look at this standard API requests. And you can see that if I post this using my web component in MIT App Inventor and I provide the API key, I will be sent this result. And this is a dictionary. And we have already used dictionary when we made the weather app. So you're familiar with this. And these are key value pairs. And you can see that the conversion rates is another dictionary. So against the conversion rates key, we have a dictionary where we have exchange rates as the key value pairs. Okay. And they're all relative to US dollar. Okay. So pretty simple JSON. So keeping all this in mind, let's proceed to MIT App Inventor and go to project, start a new project. Let's call it currency converter. Keep the toolkit default, press on OK. First, I'm going to make for screen 1, align horizontal center, align vertical center, and I'm going to make the background color white. Okay. Now, from user interface, drag and drop a text box onto the viewer, and I'm going to rename it to amount txt. Okay. Font bold, font size 20. And I'm going to change the hint to enter amount. Also, very important, turn on this numbers only. Okay. Because our amount can only be a number. Again, from user interface, drag and drop a spinner, and I'm just going to rename it to from spinner. Spinner means drop down. Okay, so this is for the from currency drop down. Okay, and we need another spinner. Let's rename it to spinner. Okay, now drag and drop a button below these two spinners, rename it to convert button, and I'm just going to make the background color orange and font bold, font size 20 and shape rounded, and change the text to convert. Okay, and we need a label which will show the converted amount, and we will also be using it to show any kind of error message. Okay, so I'm going to rename it to converted amount, and again font bold, a bit bigger than the rest of the components, so 25, and just going to remove all the text from it. Okay, and last but not the least, because we have to communicate with the servers of exchange rate API, so we need from connectivity. Let me close this user interface first. So from connectivity, drag and drop a web component, which is a non-visible component. Now our screen design is done. So let's go to the block section. First of all, we need a global variable which will contain our API key, which is a text block, an empty one in the beginning, but go to your exchange rate where your API key is given, this API key. Now copy this. Please do not use this one. Kindly get your own. I've explained the process, very simple process, okay? So copy it, come back here and paste it here. Now we need another global variable for our currencies, and this will be an empty list. Right click, duplicate, and this is our exchange rates global variable, but this is a dictionary. So go to dictionaries and give it the create empty dictionary block. Okay? Now when the app is started, the screen once initialize event is triggered, and here we will contact the servers and send the request to get the exchange rates. Okay? So go to web and get the set web1.url block, and this will be a join block and it will have 3 slots. Okay, now go back to your exchange rate API to this where we had the standard requests. So this is how you will set up the link. Okay, so we have 3 parts. First part, then we provide our API key, and then the remaining part. So copy this, okay, and come back to MIT App Inventor, get a text log, plug it in, and paste that link here. Okay, now cut all this part after this /. Okay, and here is where our API key will come. So hover over it to get the getter for it, plug that in, and now we need another text log and paste that part that you cut from this whole address. Now just remove this your API key part, because that will be filled up by the actual API key. So this is important. Look at it carefully how I have constructed this URL. Okay, now call web1's get procedure. Okay, this call will trigger the web's got text event. So go to web and get this got text event. Okay, and first of all we have to convert this response content which has been returned by the server. We have to decode it. Okay, so let's make a local variable. Go to variables and get this initialize local name block, rename it to decode, DICT, so decode dictionary, and here we are going to call web's decode procedure. So JSON text decode with dictionaries, and it takes in the JSON text. Okay, and what is a JSON text? JSON text is the response content, the content that has been returned by the server. So remember, it is this one. Okay, so this is when we will send the URL with the correct API key. This is what will be returned to us, and it is a dictionary. Okay, so we can decode it into a dictionary using this web1's procedure JSON text decode with dictionaries block, and we are going to provide it the response content. Okay, so now our dictionary has been decoded inside this variable, local variable. What we're going to do is, first we're going to check if in our dictionary the value against the key result is success, because if it is an error, this means that we did not get the expected result, so then we should not proceed with our code. So we are going to check if our result is success. Okay, so how to do that? So from control, get the if then block, and then from logic, get the equal to block, and here we are going to check against the text success. Okay, and make sure the spelling is correct. And what are we going to check? We are going to check in our dictionary the value against the key result. Okay, so how to do that? Go to dictionaries and we have this get value for key block. So plug that in, and what is the key? The key is result. Okay, so have a look here again. The key is result. In dictionary, which dictionary? This one, the decoded dictionary. So if our result is success, this means we have been returned all this nice information. So that means we can get the conversion rates. So how can we do that? We set our exchange rates variable to the value against the key conversion rates. Okay. So go to variables, get the set block, choose exchange rates here. Okay. And we can right click, duplicate, and now we are looking for conversion rates. Make sure all these are correctly spelled, because you see this is conversion rate. So even if you miss an S from here, you will not get the desired result. So make sure that either copy it from here or be careful while writing. Okay. And this should return a dictionary. So if nothing is found, it is expecting a dictionary, so I should provide it a dictionary. Okay. Now here comes the interesting part. Our exchange rates global variable is now a dictionary with keys containing currencies, and the corresponding values are the exchange rates. So if we get only the keys from here, we can get a currencies list to fill up our from and to spinners, right? So what we're going to do is that we are going to set our currencies list to go to dictionaries, get keys. From where? From the exchange rates dictionary. So get block and exchange rates. And now we can provide this currencies list to from spinner elements. Okay, variables, get block, currencies. Right click, duplicate, and make this to spinner. Okay, if you test the app, our screen will load nicely and we'll have the from and to spinners filled up with all the currency letters. Okay. Now there's a problem. If the app is used without being connected to the internet, we will get an error with the code 1101. We can handle this error gracefully by getting the screen once, error occurred event, and here if we check using control and logic equal to, if the error number is 1101. Okay. Then what we are going to do is we are going to set our convert buttons enabled property to false so that it becomes disabled. And we are going to show a message using our converted amount label that there was an error in loading the data. Okay, so I can set this to error loading data. Okay, that done. Now let's work on our convert button. But first remember that what we are getting from here are all exchange rate relative to US dollars. So what if we want to convert, for example, a pound to Saudi Riyals? So how can we go about with that? In that case, first we need to convert the pound to US dollar, and then we have to convert the US dollar to Saudi Riyal. We will be using two exchange rates. This one for pound, GBP, and then another one for the Saudi Riyal, SAR. Okay. So to find out how much US dollars you get for 1 pound, we will use the formula of 1 divided by GBP. So this will give us how much 1 GBP is equal to in dollars. Okay. If I divide 1 by this number. Okay. And then once we have that in US dollars, then we just multiply it by the Saudi exchange rate, and then we multiply it by the user's entered amount. Okay. So our final formula is converted amount is equal to 1 divided by GBP exchange rate, that multiplied by Saudi Riyal or some other currency in which you want to convert to exchange rate, multiply by entered amount. Okay, so now let's work on our convert button. First, get the click event, and first let's do some error handling, that if the user has not provided any amount in this text box, then we should prompt him to enter an amount. Okay, so logic equal to amount text, click on it and get its text, and if it is equal to an empty block, we set our converted amount dot text to a message for the user that please enter amount. So you can see that I'm using that label as a message place for reporting important events to the user too. Okay, and otherwise I'm going to do the conversion, and I've already explained the formula to you. So let's make a local variable amount, plug a 0 here. Now set this amount to a calculation. So now we're going to do the calculation. So we need from math a multiplication block. Okay, plug that in, and we need another multiplication block. So plug that in. So we have now 3 slots. Okay, now here we need to divide 1 by the from currency exchange rate. So get the division block from math, get the number block. This becomes 1. Now what will come here? The from currency exchange, but how to get that from our exchange rates dictionary? So go to dictionaries, get the get value for key block, and here what is the key? The key is what has been selected by the user in from spinner. So from spinner dot selection, get that. And what's the dictionary? The dictionary is our exchange rates dictionary that contains the key value pairs of currencies and their exchange rates. Okay, so variables, get block, and exchange rates. And here it expects a number, so I'm just going to give it a 1 because I don't want a divide by 0 error. And what will come here? This will be the exchange rate for the 2 currencies. So right click, duplicate, and choose to spinner dot selection. Okay, that done. Now provide the amount entered by the user. Okay, so now we have calculated the amount. Now we just need to show it to the user in our converted amount text. Okay, here, and hover over amount to get the get for it. So this is done. I hope you like this video. Have fun coding this app for your school or college projects, or just for fun to impress your friends. Please subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss such great projects. Thank you for watching. Have a good day and goodbye.